back to being loose. The pupils of Burlington Junior School in Bridlington will no longer be putting their hands up when they're answering questions in the class. Instead, they're going to be raising their thumbs in order to answer a question. Now, the head teacher there, Cheryl Adams, said the move is already working and that it stops pupils from waving their arms around, which can be distracting. She also says it's calmed them down, and she says it's not a big deal and there's no issue of children at the back of the classroom being missed or ignored. But what do you think of all of this? What's your reaction to this?
I just find it's just a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. At the end of the day, I was quite a bright kid at school, believe it or not, and I used to love putting my hand up. I used to think it was fabulous because I knew the answer, and when they chose me, I thought it was like a little achievement for me, especially in maths. I was great in every subject apart from maths, believe it or not. I was completely backward, even. And when I got a question right, when I could answer the question in maths, I raised my hand, and it was such an achievement for me. It was like getting a little medal. And if you say to kids, right, put your thumb up like that,
thumbs up.
You know what will happen? They'll go higher and higher and higher and higher and then it'll be through the roof. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense, as usual. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to catch on, let's put it that way.
I think it's ingrained, actually, the putting your hand up thing.
Yeah.
I still do it. You know, if I'm not getting enough attention, I find myself going, and me! You know, but at school, I do remember doing it now and again. And being slightly crushed when you weren't chosen, or occasionally you'd get chosen and you'd be so absolutely convinced you had the right answer. You'd go, Gallipoli, miss, Gallipoli! And she'd go, no, the answer is 6.
So, when I did that teaching series, and I taught 9-year-olds, they had their hands up the whole time, and they were going, miss, 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 miss! And that noise was like a knife through my head. Anyway, I couldn't really deal with all these hands up, and then the head teacher said to me, Janet, there's a couple, and he pointed them out to me, they've got attention deficit or whatever, they're just going to put their hands up and they haven't got to even know the answer. They just, yes, 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 yes. I'm a bit like that, really. It is very extraordinary. I do think this politically correct thing about, you know, putting your thumb up. I mean, let's face it, most of Britain's kids are obese, aren't they? Isn't putting their arm up a bit of exercise? Why don't they have them putting both arms up?
And stand up and do a star jump.
Yeah. You can only get a question answered if you, know, do a bit of PE at the same time. Never mind about thumb. Yeah, the school I taught when I taught in that school, they didn't even have, you know, positions in the class, and they had to win smiley face badges.
Oh, but they like the little star charts and things like that.
But they don't get positions in class anymore, do they?
No,
or rankings
no.
in case it hurts their
feelings.
feelings.
You used to have that, didn't you?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like 10th out of 10 or 11th out of 10 was the worst one.
Yeah.
But I know in certain schools, because I've been in schools quite a bit like you, Janet, and a lot of primary schools now, they have, instead of putting the thumbs up, it's like a red or green block that they have to turn over, so they put the... Because they don't sit in rows anymore.
They sit around tables so that you're at the front, and how you get the attention of 34, you know, 9-year-olds are all looking in different directions, you know, because their human rights can't be infringed. They've got to have the freedom to look out the window rather than look at the blackboard.
So you're saying that a red block and a green block...
means
green block means I know the answer, red block means I don't know the answer, don't pick on me.
Yes.
But what if the teacher is colourblind? Because red and green are the two colours.
Exactly.
Yes!
That's true.
Thank God this is.
But there are lots of things, aren't there, in school that we remember. What about uniforms? Did you like your uniform?
Bring back the uniform.
My uniform was chronic. My dad chose my school simply because he wanted me to humiliate me by making me wear a uniform. It was a red and black blazer, Lady Margaret's in Fulham, which they still have this blazer to this day, and it's a comprehensive now. It's a fabulous school. But when I went there, not only did I have the black and red striped pyjama-type blazer, I had a beret, not like ordinary school beret, like, you know, round. We had some Tudor malarkey that had points. And in the summer, the Panama hats. No wonder it turns out weird.
Like the man from Del Monte.
A Panama Panama hat with a gingham dress. So, you know, when you're at school, they find that uniform so big. I was 6 foot tall. How did they find a frock with a circular skirt? Oh, it was
I think
shameful.
I can trump your Panama hat. My school hat, honestly. I had a brown bowler hat.
What?
No, brown bowler hat.
No wonder you turned out weird.
I went back to give a speech to this school, and honestly, there was a glass case in the reception hall now with my... I'm that old, my school uniform is in a glass case like a museum thing. Brown bowler hat.
Good Lord!
Yeah, yeah.
Like Steed.
Yeah, and you used to get an order mark if you didn't wear it. Did you have to wear your hat as soon as you left the house?
Oh, yeah, I had to put my hat on. And the other thing about school, I remember, is that discipline was so intense, and then you got this report and you had to take it home. How scared were you of giving your report?
Well, not really, because very scared, because I doctored mine.
You did that? You opened the envelope? What did you do?
Well, any B- automatically went to a B+, didn't it?
I used to hand my report in. It came in a brown envelope that you couldn't see through, and I'd be, like, trying to see. I'd give it to my father, and he'll say, your mother and I look at it after tea and we'll discuss it at breakfast time.
Oh, no! We've had quite a lot of comments in about this, actually. One from Bev, who's a primary school teacher, and she said she was trained in child psychology. She thinks this is a good thing, rather than intimidating youngsters by picking them randomly when confidence could be... And Claire feels the same. She says our kids' school already uses their thumbs. Good way of kids being able to communicate their needs. We're way out of step here, girls, aren't we?
Obviously.
Better change. Emma, children have been raising their hands in classes since school began. Don't try and change something that's worked perfectly for the past however many years. So it's a good one.
Oh, well.
I don't know. OK, time for...